I want to show you, luckily, a picture from last year where you weren't in such great nick because all the women have been going crazy. I prefer the Gerard on the left. You know why? It's more like me. So that men like me looked at you in that shot on the left and thought, fantastic. And then to our utter horror, you emerged from a soccer match in Britain on the right looking like that.
Like a kind of crazy Maori there as well.
Absolutely extraordinary. Yeah, sort of a demented He-Man.
Well, that, by the way, the one on the left was...
How did you go from me to the one on the right?
Well, that was actually 2 years ago, by the way, that one. And that came as a bit of a shock. What I do when I train, for instance, for 300, I'm very obsessive about how I train. So I was doing 6 hours a day. I trained with 2 different trainers, a bodybuilding trainer.
6 hours a day?
Yeah, and then I trained with the stunt guys for 2 hours at a time. And then when I was filming, I literally had somebody come around with a trolley full of weights, and I would pump before each shot. So I got extremely big. And in the same way, when I'm not working, I found myself at times getting compulsively into Coca-Cola, dessert, you know, and I think that was at a time when that was me. I saw those photos, and that changed.
Yeah, what did you think?
That changed my life, actually.
Did it really?
Really
tell me about that.
So I was on holiday with a buddy down in Barbados, and I just finished, I forget what movie it was, but I'd trained pretty heavily for that movie, and then I had just kind of was taking some time off, and I noticed that I was eating more and more, and I kept thinking, yeah, I should be careful. And then I was actually getting in the water, and I looked over and I saw this boat in the distance, and I saw the, you know.
And you thought, no!
But even I didn't realise how awful it was going to look, or how big of a...
Can I remind you, your idea of awful is my idea of reasonably good nick. So you've got to be careful with your language here.
For me, how awful for me, considering where I'd been, you know, and...
So you were properly upset by it?
Oh, in truth, it didn't look great. It didn't kill me, you know, but it did lead me to be a little more cognizant of what I was eating.
When that second picture came out, which was an extraordinary image, what did you feel then? Was it the opposite? Was it a kind of sense of absolute euphoria? No,
because I look ridiculous. Look at my hair. Look at the tongue. I look like a madman.
No one's looking at your hair. Seriously, Jerry. It's the six-pack. Extraordinary.